Welcome to Season 2 of Why Your Business is Invisible Online. This season, we focus on the dramatic change artificial intelligence is having on your online visibility. Joining me are my two co-hosts, and here they are.
Hi, this is Jim Filatico. I'm currently obsessed with planning my next beach adventure for my whole family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Biggs. We're talking about AI this season. I'm wondering, can I get an AI agent to clean my house?
And I'm your host, John Maniatis, still glued to my guitar, but with my new band planning our next tour. In the world of content, and with content being king, there's another word, another C word, actually, that's being introduced.
Careful.
Yeah. No. Get your minds out of the gutter, guys. It's not that C word.
Rhymes with what?
Yeah. But it's an important C word, though. The word is context, and you're going to hear a lot about it in the next little while. And context in the frame of mind as being a multiplier, having a multiplier effect. When you attach context to content, it's almost like you're putting it on steroids. You're turbocharging it in many ways. And let's spend some time talking about what that really means now and how it impacts us in a positive way in the world of AI. So Jim, let's define context in this new world. So when we say content needs context, like they need to be close partners, what are we really talking about?
Well, I think the way it kind of breaks down is the relevance of the content, the intent of the content, and kind of the timing. And I'll explain that. So as far as relevance, it's kind of the why. Why is someone searching for whatever product or service it is? Are they new to the search? Are they deeper down in the sales funnel? So that's kind of the why, and the relevance about it. What's the intent? Are they trying to buy? Are they just trying to get information? Are they looking just for research? What are they doing? And then what's the situation as far as, is it a seasonal thing that they're looking for? Is it because of economic shifts? Is it because of a local event that they're going to go to? So that kind of helps build the story around whatever they're searching for, any sort of trends or whatever. And then who you're speaking to, what is the person that you're really focusing on? What's important in their life? What are their pain points? What social media are they on? What are they on a mobile device? Are they searching on a computer? How do they like to consume info? You want to make sure that you have that. We've talked about TikTok being for younger generations, but there's arguments that older generations look on that too. But you want to make sure that you're in the right place, and then you want to make sure that you're providing the information for either one answer at the top, right? That the situation that they answer at the top, you want to be there if you can, that summary. Or maybe if they're just looking for information, maybe that's a blog post that there's a lot of information you can share and that kind of thing. So all those things kind of help put the story behind what you're actually, the content you're searching for. Yeah. And so I think that kind of helps understand, making sure that it's focused on the person that's searching for it, at the time they're searching for it, on the right platform they're searching for, and what's their true purpose. Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that. It's like you're putting a frame around it, so the listener or the reader really understands, gets a better perspective on it. So that's awesome. So AI, Kelly, this one's a high level question, but I think we have to have a sense of how AI, what AI likes and what AI maybe isn't really interested in, because Jim described, context, content, the two go together. They're very important. There's a lot of information there, but AI is looking to pull from everything we're publishing and give straight answers to people who are asking very direct questions. So what are the things that you've seen so far? Because I think it's changing all the time, that AI seems to like when it's answering questions. For example, what I've noticed, just to get this one rolling, is if it sees like testimonials or reviews, it seems to like that the most, and it'll pull your content if you're getting a lot of good reviews, a lot of good feedback from your, you hear this UGC, user generated content. It seems to like that, and then it'll latch on to your content if it has that type of testimonial surrounding it, and it's positive and so forth. At least I've seen those are the brands that get served up faster on AI than others. That's something I've seen. Have you seen other things in the way AI likes to pull information?
One, you answered your own question brilliantly.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Mike. So thank you for that.
Sorry, off the top of my head. Sorry about that.
No need to be sorry about it. I think that it's valuable. I do think, though, I'm actually going to move a little bit to the so what on what you're saying.
Yeah.
So your answer is right. So you have AI that wants to answer people's questions straight away, right? You have AI that's going to look at user generated content, or just how many times people are talking about your brand or business, because it wants to make sure that it's serving up the right thing, right? And so I think that because of this, people will have to make a pendulum shift. And what do I mean by that? I think that people are going to have to think about conversion and website traffic differently, because both of those things are going to change, meaning you're going to get 0 clicks. So if I'm getting 0 clicks, then what is conversion? Let's just think about conversion differently. What I think that people kind of want to know, or what they need to know, is lead with value, right? So what I'm saying is, when you're answering a question, or when you're putting things out there, traditionally, what we've done, and Jim, you correct me if I'm wrong, is written blogs. And at the very end, if you need help with this, contact such and such, right?
Yep.
Rather than do that, what you might want to say is, you're given an answer to, let's just say, let's go back to the tax firms, the accounting firms we're talking about. And every year that your helpful guide for for the 2025 tax year, right?
Right.
And then that's a guide that leads to a URL that's in the answer that you're putting at the top, not at the bottom.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, so you got to think about, if I have 3 sentences to get something across, let me give them, think I'm leading with value. I'm giving you something, right? And in that something, then if people click on it, they're going to stay and research, but you can't bury that down in paragraph number 10.
Yes. Yeah.
More.
That's a great
right?
point.
Never be found. Yep.
Yeah.
So AI, what you're saying is AI loves that. Leading with value is something that AI is really
I think
looking
it's
for.
Value. They're looking for the right answer. They're looking for the right answer. Like Seamus said, they're looking for the answer with edge. If you've went about and created a guide that's downloadable, that's going to be unique to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. It differentiates you from your competitors. So that's awesome. Okay, yeah. Jim, if content is the input and context shapes that output, what's at stake when you don't put that context in there?
It just makes things misunderstood. If it doesn't answer the questions you're looking for specifically, then people get aggravated. They bounce because it's, they've taken the time. And especially if they're on AI search, usually they're typing they'll type a whole sentence or multiple sentences. And then if you end up, trying to serve up something that doesn't have anything to do with that, or is a one-off of that, you've completely blown it. And so the AI won't even serve that up, because they want to make sure they answer that specific question, solve that specific problem with the context you've provided. Whether you've provided it yourself in your prompt, or you've provided it based on your link, who you are. And so if you don't do that, it makes you look less viable next time for AI search.
Right.
So there's a chance you get put on the bench.
On the bench. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
It confuses the audience.
Yeah.
And ultimately it starts to damage your brand, right? Because now you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to give solve the best, or to provide the best answer and solve the problem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So next thing you know, it's your competitors can be served up because they have better context around the content.
Yeah. I like that line about being put on the bench, especially since the hockey playoffs are about to start.
Exactly.
So,
right,
so that's and my team made it finally after I don't even know how many years.
We're rebuilding.
Yeah. You've heard that line before.
Who's your team? Who's your team?
Oh, the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, they actually have the most championships of any team in the league, but they haven't won a championship since 1993. So, but they haven't been in the playoffs either since the early 2020s, I think. So, just getting in was a big deal this year, because to Jim's point, we're still rebuilding, but they'll get back.
You're not rebuilding like the Blackhawks.
That's a bigger rebuild. You're right.
Longer rebuild.
Yeah. Staying on that train of thought, do you have any examples maybe of a piece that may have had really good, solid information, but lacked that context, lacked relevance, or even clarity to break through for AI to sort of pick it up?
So I see this all the time. I work with a lot of smart business owners and firms, and especially in the case of working with SaaS companies or IT companies. And what I see them all the time is they get so ingrained in that technology where they're like, I mean, I think if I'm being fair, sometimes we can be the same way, right? We start talking about things because we talk about them all the time and we just assume there's a knowledge base that people don't have. And so we're not really taking the time to meet people where they are. Mm-hmm. And so in this instance, I had it was an IT services management company, like an IT management company. And so what they were trying to communicate is that, they really do help people to manage their IT, and a lot of them are cloud solutions. And so, we just kind of dug in, and it's cool because I don't know a lot about that world. So I kept asking the questions, why? Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it got to, when we do this, we're able to reduce costs. We're able to reduce time. Well, that's what people care about.
Yeah.
IT, how does IT do this for you? And then when I gave them that, they were like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Back to my branding company, one thing he says is, here's the rock in my shoe. Right? And I love that, because if you can figure out from your audience rock in their shoe, now you can write content that's going to show up, because you're writing it different. If every other IT services company is writing technically and they're not solving problems, the one who does is going to get shown to people, because they're probably answering the questions that people are actually asking.
Yeah. That's a great example. Jim, I want to zone in a little bit on the B2B side of things. Tell me if you think this is an issue. Do you think it's a two-part question? Do B2B companies or brands still produce, a lot of generic, sort of undifferentiated content? And if so, why do you think that is? Why do you think it's still that undifferentiated?
Yeah, it kind of builds on what Kelly just said. If you think about these B2B companies, they're all about their features, like what their product does. And it's left to the interpretation of the person going to the website to figure out, yes, does that feature help me, right? And so does it solve a problem? I don't know. And so that's what they do. They're kind of inside looking, that like pounding their chest, this is what we have, this is the product we have, as opposed to my product solves this problem or my service solves this problem. So they're focusing on their features. They're not focusing on solving a problem. A lot of times too, it's, you get the product development team, or the product management team, and the marketing team together, and the product managers say, this is what you have to talk about because this is what's important. The marketing team says, no, this is what you have to talk about because that's what's important. And so they compromise, and then they don't help anybody, right? Because it's diluted completely based on, that committee that got together to talk about this widget.
And they're missing what the salespeople are saying
exactly.
that are talking to the customers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where if they are trying to provide this content, they're on a deadline and let's just get it out. Let's just get it out, as opposed to really solving the problem. They just get it out. It makes it difficult to really kind of come out and clear yourself away from all the noise, because it's just a matter of getting it done and getting agreement and pounding your chest about what you have, as opposed to solving that problem. So it ends up seeming, generic may not be the right word because the features may be different, but when you have commoditized products, then it's really difficult. And then it seems like they scream those features even more, as opposed to, okay, but what does it do for the end user?
Okay.
And so that's what makes it maddening at some points, but that's what happens. And they just have to understand, again, what the context is for the user that's searching and what they need to serve up to make sure that they take that rock out of the shoe.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly there's a context issue there that needs to be solved. So I'm going to throw this one over to Kelly to sort of pick up on that and add some more insight. So how can things like perhaps internal data or a strong point of view give that type of content, or any kind of content for that matter, the context that it really needs, and context that others can't necessarily replicate? This is about differentiation again.
Yeah, I think, you're exactly right. I think it's a very good question. And quite honestly, I think that your internal data is the ultimate differentiator. So what I mean by that is anyone can really copy your topic now, right? You write a topic, I can tweak it and I can copy it, and I can say, oh, this is interesting, I want to write about it too. But no one can copy your lived experience, right? And so what you might want to do, for instance, is use customer surveys or insights that you might gather for a service. Like you want to highlight, let's go back to what Jim was saying, you're running a special. Maybe when you're running that special, you say to the people who took you up on it, like, what did you get their genuine impact. It doesn't have to always be give me a Google review. It's like, fill out this form that maybe I want other people to see and maybe I don't. And you can you can use it to improve processes, but you could also use it for positioning, right? And then take that, because that's what that's the experience your customers are actually valuing. Now, add those comments to your landing page, right? Add them to your blog. It's going to instantly stand out.
Absolutely.
Why? Because it's not regurgitated advice. It's actually what customers are saying about you and your service. Nobody can reuse that.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. I think we've given our audience plenty to think about when it comes to context. I think, honestly, I love it. I think it's a great opportunity to do exactly what you just described, both of you guys just described, which is context gives you the opportunity to differentiate yourself, and you need to take that opportunity because AI loves it. AI needs it to pull you out, to separate the wheat from the chaff, and put you up on that pedestal and show you as the answer when people are looking for, when people are putting into pretty direct questions and they want to see direct answers. Now let's talk about some handy sort of thoughts and tools for our listeners. How do you guys feel that you build an answer-ready structure into the content right from the start, right from the get-go?
Yeah. So one, I think it's important for everybody to start doing that. And I think in questions now more than ever, if I'm writing a blog, there's always a FAQ. So if you write like somebody's trying to find answers, and one thing I still use is also asked. It's an app you can go on. I think you get 2 or 3 questions that you can ask. It'll give you a series of questions that other people are answering. They want you to start paying for it sooner than they used to, but it's still a good tool. But if you think about the questions and literally take those questions and put those into your subheadings, it's likely to get, because of that structure, it's likely to get pulled into AI results or feature snippets more often than not. Also lead with the takeaway, like I had talked about before. Just remember, nobody is reading to the end. They want the answer. If you say, is the sky blue? Yes, the sky is blue. And here are hues that you can go to. Download this. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be right away, but it has to also add value because everybody can say, yes, the sky is blue.
I agree with Kelly. That's what's important.
Okay, so that wraps up a pretty large discussion on context, and hope you're feeling better about the what, so what, and now what around context. In my mind, it's a huge opportunity to really make your target audience understand a lot about your key areas that are important to them and the things they constantly ask about. But most importantly, it's a huge opportunity to differentiate yourself and, like Kelly said, add value a lot more. Thank you for tuning in to Why Your Business is Invisible Online. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor and subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple. Be sure to share it with other business owners who might find it helpful. If you want to dig deeper, contact us at ruinvisibleonline.com. That's capital letter R, capital letter U, followed by invisibleonline.com. Or message us on our LinkedIn business profile with the same title, Are You Invisible Online? The information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and may or may not reflect the official policy or position of WSI Corporate. Always consult a qualified digital marketing expert before making significant changes to your online strategy. Until next time, keep connecting with the people who matter most to your business and join us for our next episode.